Hello, ladies. Okay, so one of the first things that I want to talk to everybody about is alignment. And alignment, we're going to go over what poor alignment looks like and what good alignment looks like. And on top of me kind of explaining all of it, I'm also going to post a couple of pictures. And then I want everybody to take a picture of their alignment and post it in the group, okay? So just a little backstory on why alignment is so important. It is actually key for postnatal women. It's extremely important for preventing mom injuries like back problems, lower back problems, shoulder or neck pain. It's important for healing diastasis recti. It's important for having a pelvic floor that doesn't leak, so you don't have any kind of incontinence. Maintaining a strong, stable core and being able to lift heavier weights again, okay? So for women, for postnatal women specifically, poor alignment usually looks like a tucked under bum. And that is otherwise known as having a posterior pelvic tilt. And that's what I'm going to post a picture of later, okay? I personally am a total bum tucker, and it's only worse right now because of the age of my child, but it also happens when we're pregnant. So when you have a posterior pelvic tilt, and if you add to that a rib cage that's either rounded down, and then so when we have our butt tucked and our core rounded down, so imagine we're kind of holding our baby, I don't know if you can see me, but kind of like this, you're going to have a really tough time developing any kind of core stability, okay? And when we don't have core stability, we have a compromised pelvic floor, and we have set ourselves up for a diastasis that is never, never going to heal. So I'm going to post a couple pictures of that, and so you'll see kind of what a weak core looks like. But then we're going to talk about what a good core looks like. So when we talk about what a good core looks like, that is having our ribs stacked directly underneath our hips. Okay, so think of alignment as how the body is positioned or the joints are placed as they stack up. Chronic aches and pains, a diastasis that won't heal, and a dysfunctional pelvic floor can all benefit and improve just from tweaking alignment and building strength in that proper alignment, okay? So throughout the next 4 weeks, I'm going to talk to you about 3 cues, okay? So the first one is to keep your ribs over your hips, okay? So what you're going to do is we're going to practice on sitting, standing, and moving in positions where our ribs can stay over our hips, okay? So this is what we in the fitness industry talk about as a neutral spine, but this is going to have a little bit more precision to it, okay? So the neutral spine is a rib cage stacked over the pelvis, a slight arch in the lower back, and a tall upper spine. The chin is slightly tucked in so that your head doesn't stick out, kind of like a turtle. And this is where I really, really want everybody to be when they're carrying their babies, when they're working out. So that's a really important one. The other important one, the other cue, the second cue, is you're going to zip up your fly. So you need to learn to know how to stand with your, let me rephrase that. Okay, so you need to learn how to know when you're standing with your fly open. So we don't want to stand with our fly open, right? We want it to be zipped up. So imagine if the fly of our jeans was open and you stood with your bottom tucked under, otherwise known as a posterior tilt, and your pelvis is rocked too far forward, your fly would be open, right? Okay, so now think of this open fly as a client's diastasis. Sorry, you're the client. So think about your abdominals being gaping open. So when we stand like this for hours on end, our diastasis is completely open. So we want to zip everything up, right? So we want to get that nice neutral pelvis, okay? So our third cue is going to be, sorry, I'm trying to get my notes here, is to have a quiet bell, okay? So think of your trunk as a bell. And if your bell was sitting still, with the rib cage over the hips and your fly zipped up, your bell is silent. However, if your bell is rung up or down, you have a noisy bell. So think of the noise as issues such as aches, pains, symptoms. So your bell rung up is having your rib cage flared. Your bell rung down is having your rib cage rounded, okay? So we're going to go over all these things, but first of all, I want everyone to take a picture of themselves. Don't correct your posture, just leave it as is because I want to see it and I want to see how you normally stand. And if you have a child, a new baby, which I'm assuming, I think most of you probably do, hold your baby in the position that you always stand, and I want to see what that looks like for you. Okay, so I'm going to continue to post videos, but this is the one specifically on our alignment. So this is your homework number one for today. I want everybody to post a picture of their alignment true to form. So not as I have explained how it should be, but what your alignment really looks like. So we're going to start out with that. And there are some key things we're going to go over throughout the course of the next 4 weeks. And one of them is going to be alignment. One of them is going to be our core breath. And these are the two most important things. So if we don't have good alignment and we don't have a good core breath, we don't have the tools to properly heal our body postpartum, okay? So let me know if you have any questions about this. It was a ton of information, and we will go from there.